So you want to farm the Sand Devil and you don't have a huge roster? No problem, I got you. What's up guys, MtgJedi here, talking Sand Devil today. In my last video earlier today, I talked about speed farming the Sand Devil with some pretty endgame teams. In this video, I'm going to focus on, I believe it's all epics. Yeah, all epics on this team and farming the appropriate level if that's the type of team that you have. So when we come into the Sand Devil, at the time of this recording, this boss is absolutely overtuned, ridiculous, not farmable on 21 to 25. I don't even think it's farmable on 17 to 25, so we're definitely waiting for Plarium to make some changes or release a champion that's going to change this for us, something. But as of right now, it is not possible to farm these upper level stages. So my recommendation in the last video was to farm stage 11 because that is going to be the most efficient energy to oil ratio for your small and middle oils. In addition, we need a lot of these oils in order to ascend a lot of our gear and find what pieces are actually good and worth investing in. Also, it's going to take a lot of energy in order to get all of these oils to just test our pieces and see if they're worth investing in, okay? In the previous video, I did some testing on pieces to give you an example. I did some testing on some pieces in the video on the previous day as well, so check the Sand Devil playlist if you want to see that information. I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter today and not get into that. So to sum it up, if you need a team that's all epics or that is more free-to-play friendly, then I think that you need to be farming stage 7. Stage 7 is going to give you only the small oils, which you need for 1 through 3, I think. Levels 1 through 3 is all small oils. It's at least 1 and 2, but I believe it's 1 to 3. Let me know in the comments below if I'm right or wrong about that. And so this stage is going to be the most efficient oil to energy ratio. And this is going to be the one where you want to put the majority of your time into so that you can figure out and ascend the most pieces of gear. When you are early and mid game, even if you're late game, just ascending those first couple levels on a lot of pieces of gear is going to really help you. A lot of the stats are not going to be the perfect ones that you want, so you're going to need a lot of this oil and a lot of time to find the pieces that hit well, that roll well, all right? So let's get into this team. I'm very excited to share this team with you. All epics for stage 7, which in all honesty took me a long time to be able to figure out this team. It was not completely obvious, and it took all of my efforts working on the legendary team, the speed team for endgame players in order to develop this strategy as well. So we have Faceless, and Faceless is going to hit really hard, ignoring defense on the boss here. I think this is the best epic damage dealer for this. It's definitely going to do a lot more damage than your Royal Guards or your Husks, etc. So I think Faceless is the best. Magnar could really be anyone you want, okay? If you have good legendary damage dealers, you can put them in here. That would be perfectly fine, okay? Bane is not great for this boss, let me just tell you, okay? She has a triple hitter that is going to place the decreased defense and weaken. That's not ideal. So if you have a Lydia or any of the legendaries that do it, they are all going to do it better than her, okay? It is nice when she can land this decrease attack and poisons. That's going to be very helpful. And it's nice that her multipliers are very good, as well as this being on for 3 turns. But because it hits 3 times, that is going to change the, the timer, that counter on the boss. in a negative way. So she's the right affinity, but this triple hitter is the thing that is really holding her back from being super good on this boss. Canelia is in here for the heals, okay? She is mainly in here for the sleep, though, okay? She's mainly in here for the sleep. And then last but not least, we have our protector, which is Ursula. I'm super pleased with this find. She places decrease attack and increase attack all in the same ability. That's everything we needed for this boss. Also, she's in a shield set, and then she has the increased defense and strengthen to protect us from the boss so we don't die. And she can use this as a revive later in the fight, which does come up once in a while if we get crit. So let's jump in. This is not a crazy fast run. If you want to see that, you need to check out the previous video. And if you haven't seen the previous video, you should watch that to see what this is capable of, this strategy with legendary champions in the team. So let's jump in here and let's look at this team in action. It is a little bit longer of a fight, and then we will look at the gear. It's still reasonable for farming, though. So we have Fane going first. We have Canelia going first, Fane going second, then Ursula, then our 2 damage dealers. I have no one to reset the cooldowns of the skills. If I did have a Kymar, for example, instead of the Canelia, this would be much, much faster. I don't think we can fit a Renegade into the team. Kymar does the sleep and the resets, so he's combining 2 champions into 1. So that's one of the main reasons why this is going to be slower. If you have Kymar, you can just slot him right in the Canelia spot, and then you're good to go, okay? Now, this has been averaging right around a minute for me. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. This looks like on the little bit more side. You can see here we got crit there. So our champions died. That's not going to affect the run as far as whether we succeed or not, but it does affect the time frame of how long that it takes. And you can see Faceless just butchering this boss. Magnar did quite a bit of damage as well, though. Faceless, there we go. So, and Fane, not too shabby either. All right, you do not want War Master on any of these champions. I took it off of Ursula because you want no one to have it. It counts as an extra hit right now, which that needs to be fixed immediately, Plarium. All right, so let's look at the champion builds for this. I'm very excited to share this with you. So we have Magnar. This is my normal arena Magnar. I changed nothing. It is a pretty good build, though. 85k HP is kind of hard to get on Magnar if you're, not late game. 254 crit damage, 184 speed. I don't have accuracy on him. I just want him to do damage. Ursula over here, I have in Bolster. You can do Bolster or Shield. I like Bolster on her because that's going to help her gain health back and keep her alive a little bit better. She does need a healthy amount of accuracy. 289. Oh, I took her masteries off. I would prefer this to be over 300, and then over 200 speed is fine, just as long as she goes before your damage dealers. We have Canelia, who is going first here. She's going to have a really good amount of accuracy. I re-geared her for this purpose. 232 speed, more than enough, okay? More than enough on both of those stats. And then we have our Fane in here. Fane is not geared crazy. I put crit rate gloves on her, a little bit of crit damage, a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of attack. It's not a crazy build. It could be much better than this. But she does need to go Canelia, and then Fane needs to go second. So she needs speed on her. And then the Faceless build, since he's ignoring all of the defense with this ability, I did not put him in Savage. But if you want to put him in Savage for his other 2, you definitely could. And then I got 5.3k attack. He's kind of slow, but he does have a lot of crit damage, right? I have 2 crit damage sets. And I also have the crit damage mastery. Let's just flip over here so we can go like this. Flawless execution as the crit damage mastery. Other than that, I don't think anything else is important. And I would love to hear what you have to say about this team. I think this is very accessible with all epics, and around 1 minute is perfectly fine to farm this level. If you're earlier mid-game, I highly suggest farming level 7, and then once you level up your champions and gear, progressing to level 11. Eventually, Plarium will change this content so that the level 20 and 25 are farmable. As the time of recording, they are not. When they make that change, I'll certainly do an update video on some other strategies that we can use for those levels. So make sure you check the Sand Devil playlist for that information. Thank you for watching. I'm MtgJedi. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, put a comment down below. Let's push this video out to some people so it can help them as well. And I will see you guys in the next one.